Well, if I had wanted to get the llamas caught today, it would have been a perfect day. They're all in the catch pen eating, where I just put some food to try to get the cows ready to learn to go in there and then go through the chute so I can load them or use the vet with them. But this is what I ended up with. But it's only day one. I've got a couple more days before I need to get this guy sent to his appointment. Yeah, buddy, we're talking to you. So anyway, I got some interest. This is Raven. I'm afraid she's maybe got some bloat, so I need to have the vet come out and look at her. And this one is Eagle. He's my second to the last bull calf we've had. He was born in January last year, or this year. So we're trying to decide if he's going to become a steer or if he's going to get sold. We haven't decided yet. But he's a nice looking little bull. Has a little bit of attitude though, so that might be the tiebreaker. We're not sure quite yet. And then here are my 3 llamas. That's Lucy in the front. And as you can see, that gate closes, and that's the initial 10 by 10 holding pen. And then there's a gate inside. I'm not sure if you can really see it. Let me zoom in. There's another gate right there, and that's actually the sweep gate. So when you get ready to load your animals, you close this first gate, and then you get in the pen, and you pull the latch on that gate, and it has an extra long bar that's on a spring, and it'll only go one direction, so you walk them through, and then through this little, into this little corner unit, and push them through into that run. And then that leads up to the squeeze chute up there if you have to do vet stuff, where you just open that up and back your trailer up, and if you need to put them on the trailer, that's how you get them in. You might need the assistance of a cattle prod if they're particularly ornery, but for the most part they'll just go on in with a little coaching or tapping or something. So that's it. This is my new cattle barn so far. It's not quite done. I'm going to put a sliding barn door here on the end. It's a 5-foot door so we can get feed and hay and stuff in and out of it. We still have to close up the top and finish closing up this side. And then this front area right here where the OSB plywood is, that's going to be where I store feed. And I brought in 2 gates in here that overlap, 2 pipe gates, and they close up, and then I'll just put my hay and stuff on pallets in here, and that'll keep the cattle out and make easy access for me. And the rest of this, let me back up a little bit. So the rest of this is mostly for the cows. They have a, let's see, about a 20-foot area that's devoted to them. And they can come in and feed on rainy days or get in shelter out of the cold, which we had snow last night, so that turned out to be a good thing. And looking at the droppings, I'm guessing they used it. And then there's 2 more of those gates that overlap by how I was showing you on the other side up there. 2 gates overlapping there. And then this area on the end, just inside these gates, is about a 10-foot by 18-foot area. And that's where the llamas can eat, and I can pen them up when I need to catch them, put their halters on, do stuff with them. So that's it. Here's Red Bull. He's such a good bull. I love this boy. I would continue keeping cows just for him because he's such an angel. Hey Red Bull, how you doing, handsome boy? He's loving that heated water. The rest of the waters froze over last night, but a couple of them had heaters in them, so we were good. I'll be able to top that off again pretty soon. They've drank about 2 of those 100 gallons halfway. What you going, Red Bull? Where's your babies? Where's your baby? Where's your baby? Where's your raven? Hi, handsome. You know I love you. You're such a good boy. So this one actually has the heater type that plugs in down there at the bottom where the drain hole normally is. And that one works excellent. I think of all the heaters I've got, that one works the best. So then there's part of my field out there you can kind of see. But we've got 20 acres in pasture out there. And there's my new stock trailer up there, parked there, because my truck is in the shop and I can't move it back inside where we have trailer parking. So this right here is actually one of my horse paddocks. This is a big one. I've got that run-in building split in half with another smaller paddock up there for one horse. This one is going to be fenced off on the other side of the gravel here. So I can use that as a dedicated horse paddock. And then that should leave me this whole graveled area here free to use for as another, either for a driveway or for another paddock if I need it for animals, or I need, just if I need it to be able to cordon it off. So that's my run-in. That's the one that was actually built up front first, and it was destroying the view and it bugged the heck out of Jim. So we paid somebody to take it apart, bring it down here and put it back up, and it's working great. So we're super happy we did that. And here are my girls having a noontime snack. These are, let me zoom in a little bit. My new mare, the Palomino in front, that's Hope. You can kind of see Pumpkin in between. She's my miniature donkey. She's the love of my life besides Jim. And that's Miss Kitty behind. And they're enjoying the rest of their hay and some of that good Stanley chopped straw I put out for them. Give them a little extra roughage. And everybody's happy and quiet right now, so that's a good thing. And this is the existing metal building when we bought the place here. And I've used dog kennels to enclose part of the overhang, and then had a chicken coop built, nice big chicken coop, built here on the end. And you can kind of see we still need to insulate and finish off this end piece. We're going to finish off that open part there, and then there's a part on the front, or actually that's the back side of the metal building, where there are little stalls set up, and that's where Pumpkin's stall is going to be. So I will send you another video later of all the insides of everything. There's my big horse trailer that has done so much work getting us here from Fort Worth, Texas. 15 round trips of 1,700 miles pulling that big steel trailer. But she did the job, and I can never thank her enough. And this here is the rest of our trailer parking. And should have room enough. I've got a wash rack we put in here. I have a water hydrant back there. You can kind of see. I fill the water tub on the other side of the fence, but I can put the horse in cross ties or hitch the donkey down here on the hitching rail, because she doesn't really like to be cross-tied. And then I can wash them or clean them or do whatever I need to do. So that has really, really worked out well. Now, the rest of the tour, outside tour, shows you there's my chicken pen in here. And then unlatch this gate. Right now we're using this outer part with the dog kennel just to keep the dogs and other animals out. And I've got some hay storage in here. And in here, which this is this wonderful screen door. I've got it covered right now for winter, but in the summer I take off the plastic and it's a screen door. It gets more ventilation in. Larry added this wonderful door handle made of a deer antler, naturally shed. And inside, right now, this is a wire wall, but I have it tarped for winter. And I've got hay storage in here stacked up, and that helps warm the area, insulate it a little bit more for the chickens. And I also have a oil heater that runs off of a thermostat that turns on at 40 degrees. So if we get down below freezing, my chickens can stay warm. And they actually have nesting boxes here, but they like to roost on top at night. The put the roosting bars down there, and they decided that was not the cat's meow. So here we go, and that's my wonderful chicken slash hay storage area. And there's Wella. Wella, pretty girl. Wella, pretty girl. Bark, 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 bark. Talk to me, Wella. She's my only hen. I have two that I brought from Texas, and she's my only one that's still laying. Pippin is older, and but Pippin is, I got Wella as a day-old chick in the mail from a hatchery, and Pippin is the one that I ordered as a fertilized egg and actually hatched myself in the incubator in Texas. She was one of 15 eggs that got lost in the mail, and unfortunately she was the only one that actually hatched. Pippy Pipster, Pippin, Pippy Pipster. Yes, they do know their names. It's kind of crazy. Pippy Pipster, and she used to sit on my shoulder when she was a baby. But she is a red Orpington chicken, and she's molting right now, so she's not in all of her feather glory. And Wella is mostly recovered from her molting, but she is a breed of chicken known as a Welsomer. And she's real pretty. She's got a real good disposition and a good egg layer, and Jim really likes her a lot. So, if you can look past all my mess, when we got here, this big metal building, and it's big, I don't know the dimensions exactly, but it had been used for a shop. So it has a concrete floor, had a ton of electrical already in it on these big raw I-beams, had a little bit of insulation, but I had Larry come in and build me these two rooms inside the building. And yeah, as you can see, they're flat on top. We put tar paper up there in case there were any drips or condensation from the ceiling to help protect the insides. This one you're looking at right now is my tack room, but then I also have a lot of storage on top. This one I'm sorry, that was my feed room. This is my tack room. And again, I store all the camping gear and stuff like that up there. And it's been a really nice. So this is the rest of our mess. We're still trying to deal with getting things squared away. We came in and insulated a little bit of this back wall and put up OSB so I can hang on some of the tools. We need more storage for those. And I've got these tall units that are supposed to go over here eventually. This is where Jim's motorcycle is and toolbox and stuff. So we've got a lot of joggling to do. But I want to finish insulating this back wall and this back door, which slides open into Pumpkin's, what's going to be Pumpkin's stall, although she uses it now. And as you can see in here, we've got another nice overhang. And good size. This is probably a 20 by 10 foot stall here. And then there are two small ones off to the sides that were already here. I don't know if at one time Vic raised cattle, but it kind of seems like it. And this could have been a place for like a mama cow and a baby cow, and right now we haven't really done anything with it. This one on the other side, right now we could just use that for tool and such storage. This little stall on the other side, however, was built, I believe, to be a weaning stall for a calf, because if you notice, if you look real close at this gate he built, there's a little latch here and there's a little door. And so it's just big enough that if mama cow was out here, the little calf could get in through that little door. It opens up. I've got it wired shut right now, but it opens up. And the little calf would get in here. And that's my winterizing of all my extension cords. I'm having to run out to my waterers right now, which make me nervous, but you do what you got to do, right? So here's this little stall with an extra gate here, but a huge drop off. So we're going to have to build a ramp or something. And just the raw metal walls. This is actually the back side of the chicken coop that you're looking at right now, where Larry closed it in for me. So I've bought insulation and OSB And we're going to finish off these walls, close up these tops with panels that I can remove during the summer, so it'll be a lot more airflow through here. But if you notice, this little feeder is really low. It's probably only 1.5 feet off the ground, if that he had put in, cut a barrel in half, and so that could work as a grain feeder. And then he had a rebar, built this little manger area that's nice and low. So Pumpkin, this will be perfect for her. She's about the size of a calf. She's my miniature donkey, by the way. She's my little donkey, and so she's about the size of a calf and would be able to get easy access to the food and stuff in here for her. And that way I can close off this other area if I need it for storage or anything. And she could use this gate, which actually goes out into her little paddock, that I can close off with that big, I don't know if you can see it, there's a big gate back there. It's kind of leaning toward where the run-in is. And her little area is all fenced off. And then back behind there, we've got a stream and rocky mountain and caves. And the plan is to eventually get that all fenced off so we can open up that area for the llamas to get back up in there, and it'd be a lot cooler for them in the summer. And they love rocks and getting on high places, and they will just be thrilled to death. So that's pretty much that for right now. This stall for Pumpkin is the next thing Larry's going to start working on after we get the cattle barn all finished up. There's not too much more to do on that, and as I said, we're going to insulate this back wall inside the building. So that's pretty much it for the metal barn tour, or the metal building tour. So, as I said, that's the side door to my feed room. That's one of the old doors off the house. We replaced them with nice insulated fiberglass doors. So I was able to reuse them down here, which I was really happy about. And this is the door into my tack room. I have extra saddle storage here. Saddle hooks up here that I built out of discs that had been cut out of OSB on another project that I'd saved, with tuna cans behind them. So the discs are a little bit bigger than the wood piece, you can see. So it does a good job holding that on. So I try to use up and keep the scraps and use them as well as I can. This is my tack room, which is really messy right now because it's part of my messy life. But I don't know if you can see, these cabinets turned out really great. They actually used to belong to Dan and Gail at one of their photo studios. And they were stacked together, and Justine had used them at one of her rental places as a TV stand and some storage. When she moved out, she didn't want to have to haul them. They were moving to a much smaller place, so I brought them back. I helped her move with that big red horse trailer again. And so I brought them back, and Larry built me this tack room, and we put them up on the wall, built some extra shelving in between. And down below, you can kind of see what's eventually going to be my desk area. It's kind of open under there. And then the drawer units are actually pieces that I brought out of the house in the bathroom that Peggy, my mother-in-law's first cousin, Vic, had built when he built the house. And put up lots of saddle storage, running a dehumidifier. Also have a air conditioner unit built in, and cedar lined closet, storage up above, storage shelves over here, and a big tack trunk that rolls out on wheels. I was able to reuse some of the excess flooring from the house project and put in here. I also have a fridge with water, and I can keep medicine for the animals in it if I need to keep it refrigerated. And it's just a great little tack room. I am thrilled to death to have it. So, seems that what I'm most in need of is organization. So if we go into the feed room that Larry built for me, you can see it's a mess too. I have a lot of empty feed bags, and have a little heater plugged in because this shop had a lot of electricity available. And again, like on the other side, we built in storage shelves there, added storage shelves here. I was able to reuse an old cabinet that came out of my horse trailer that had kind of broken down, and I had replaced with another cabinet for inside that area. I've got just a metal shelf there. We brought in some shop lights. This one is actually Bluetooth capable, so I can play music from my phone on it as I'm setting up feed bags and stuff. I have extra storage here, and then being the pack rat that I am, this area here was my old bar top from my house in Texas. So when they put in the granite countertops before I moved, before I put it on the market, I added granite countertops out there. And when they hauled off the old countertops, they forgot about this piece. So I had room on my trailer, so I stuck it on there and thought I could use it here. And it has worked out great, because if you look in here, you can kind of see what I do when I get ready for a trip. I bag up everybody's food and supplements and medications separately with their names on them. Peanut, Hope, Kitty. This is the pet tub for the horses. And then I label everything. And for the llamas, I have a can for them, you can see. And there's a few bags left because I just got back from California and I've been sick, so I've been pretty lazy. And then usually this is where I keep all my cattle food, which eventually is going to go over into that cattle barn as soon as we get that dried in and kind of closed up. But they get corn, they get alfalfa pellets, they get a sweet feed mix, and then they get cattle cubes, which I'm due to put another bag or two in. They get cattle cubes, which are weird looking stuff. Depending on where I buy them, I either get these round ones or these square ones. I like the round ones better. I get those at Tractor Supply. I get the square ones at my co-op. So these are the ones that are definitely easier to scoop up with scoops. So anyway, that's what my cattles get every day in addition to hay. And they seem to really love it. So that concludes the tour of the metal barn, tack room, feed room, pumpkin stall. That's an old metal door that Vic put on when he built this thing. And the whole building is built out of heavy-duty metal, more like a commercial grade. And the door, which I wanted to replace because the bottom of it was all rusted out, but I could not find a replacement door that fit that area because it's extra tall. It's a 7-foot door, 36 inches wide, but 7 foot tall. And I couldn't find another door except commercial doors, and they ran about $600 to $800. So Larry was resourceful and was able to patch the bottom for me. We had some old siding pieces that we had taken off when we replaced the doors on the house and had retained, so we were able to reuse that and kind of fill it up. And we had trouble with it, with rainwater leaking into the area, so he put in this door stoop for me and some leveler and this drip cap on top to try to keep the rain from coming in, and it has worked great. So I'm thrilled. Now, if you walk out of the feed room there, you're right up here at my, I don't know what you call it, lean-to. It's a long building, but we usually keep the tractor in here. My big white truck parks in here beside the tractor. And then I have room over here to park my Mecron, which is my utility vehicle I use around the farm. It has a dump bed on it. And our lovely lawnmower, which we love so much. And then right now we're using back behind there for some storage. And what you're looking at here is the backside of the well house. So hopefully, walking through all these leaves, I don't trip on some piece of something we've left here. We have right now the, I don't know if you can see it, the drag. It's rolled up, but this is the drag for the field when we have poop, or when I will need to drag my arena or my round pen. I can use it for that. We have more cattle park, or more car parking. That's my llama chute. That's my little dump trailer I use for cleaning out the paddocks. I tow it behind the utility vehicle. There's Jim's kayak, which he hasn't been able to use here yet. That's our extra small trailer. And I still have to unload a bunch of concrete blocks that I got from Peggy and go get more, because I want to build up around the run-in and things where we get a lot of water flowing through when it rains. And here are my happy llamas. They must have got done with the food I put for the cattle in the catch pen. So now they're busily working on 2 big hay bales we bought inside these hay rings. It's a little cold today, so I am sniffling, but it's warming up nicely if you're in the sun. So you can kind of see them. There's Lucy again. She's on the left side. There's Peanut looking at you. She was the surprise baby we had when we were in Texas. And then Schroeder, you can kind of see he's laying down back behind. Schrodo, hey bud. He's a funny boy, but he is a wonderful guardian animal. He protects those little baby cows like crazy. He runs off coyotes and dogs and anything else comes in this field. So you gotta love him. And here is my 60-foot round pen that we bought in Texas, hauled out here, and we were using it for temporary fencing and stuff. And I think you can see, I think there's a bluebird sitting right up on the rail. I don't know if you can focus in on it, but there it is. I think that's one of our bluebirds. Yes, it is. Oh, I love my bluebirds. I have some that come every year. And anyway, that's my 60-foot round pen. Well, if I can get it shrunk back down. And next trip I'll have to take you for a trip around the perimeter of the pasture so you can kind of see. But these are 2 more of my water tanks I've got. One is a 50-gallon, one is a 100-gallon. And luckily last night the water heaters worked in these 2. This is a floating type water heater. And the only thing that's bad about those is a lot of times the cows tend to get their nose under it and flip it out. So then of course everything freezes. And we have a little walk-through gate that Jim was so kind to put in for me. And here's my 100-gallon. This one has a different kind of a water heater. You can see down there it sinks, but at least it kind of stays down out of the way and animals don't seem to bother it as much. This is one of my frost-free hydrants, and they're real interesting how they work. You pull that big handle on top, it turns the water on, obviously, and then when you turn it off, it brings in air pressure through the nozzles and pushes the water back down underground so it doesn't freeze. And there's a gravel bed down there for the excess water to go. So here is my carport where I'm finally able to park my car. And the Mecron, you can kind of see that's my utility vehicle. Here's my nutty dogs wanting me to throw the ball. Hi guys, you're awake. Cara, you're limping. What's the matter, baby? That's Cara. This is Screwball Squirrel Danica. Danica! Danica! Good! Sit! 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 Danica! Sit! Good girl. Cara, good girl. Okay. And that's my Mecron. You can kind of see the work that we've done on the front of the house. Hi, Otto. This is my big boy with the real bad hip dysplasia. He's the sweetest thing in the world. I love him to death. He's going to get an appointment with Auburn University Vet School here pretty soon and see if they have any recommendations about how to keep him more comfortable. So here we are. We still have to replace the garage door. We put new gutters on the house. I think it was August or September. And you can kind of see where I haven't stained it yet because the pressure treated wood has to age a little bit. But this, you can kind of see where Larry's closed in or screened in the front porch for me. It looks really, really nice. We have a low wall here and double screen doors here as you go up the walkway. And of course we still have scraps and debris and everything up here that we're still probably going to use for other projects, so it's still sitting up here in my saws and everything. But eventually there's my little table for relaxing. I have 4 chairs that go around it, and want to build a tiki bar down on the other end. And here we are at the front door. All right, film to continue later.